This video is going to show you how to download and install Visual Studio Code and FileZilla. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the URL that is given to you on the page where you found this video for Visual Studio and for FileZilla. When you go to that URL, it's going to open up this particular page for Visual Studio. Here is your Windows download if you have a Linux system and if you have a Mac system. So since we have Windows, we're going to click on the Windows and we're going to allow it to download. It is downloading now and it is done. We're going to pop over now to the FileZilla. In FileZilla, here is the Windows download. If you have a Linux or a Mac, you would want to go to this link where it says show additional download options. And here are your other options for Linux and for a Mac. We're actually going to use this link right here. If you click on that, it'll download. For those of you who have the Windows system and you want to click right here, then by all means you just click on the download and you click on download for this version right here. It also is going to download in your downloads folder, and we are done with that. So now what I'm going to do is open up my downloads area, and you see that they are both here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to install Visual Studio first. So I'm going to double click on the executable file, and we are going to accept this license agreement. We're going to hit next. We're going to hit next. We're going to put a check mark here where it says create a desktop icon if you choose to do that. We're going to hit next and install. And it's going to go ahead and install the software for us. Almost done. A little bit further. And it is now installed. We can finish. It will go ahead and launch the application. And when it comes up, what we're going to be doing is we're going to install right away a couple of extensions. So this icon is the extension icon. So I'm going to click here. And what we're going to do is we're going to locate a couple extensions. And the first one is going to be HTML, CSS support, and here is the one that we want. So we're going to go ahead and click on that, and we're going to install that. So that is installed. The next extension, we're going to type in live server, and this is the live server that we want to install. So we're going to go ahead and hit install. Give it a minute to install it. It's almost done. And it's done. So now we're going to go in and do two more. We're going to do material icon theme, and here it is. We're going to install this. And then the last one we're going to install is called Open in Browser. And we can either install this version or we can install this version. It doesn't matter. Either one will work for us. And it is installed. And at this point, we are done with installing extensions and with installing of Visual Studio. And there will be another video that you can watch that talks about installing the student data files that you'll be using. So we're going to go ahead and minimize that out of the way, and now we're going to install FileZilla. So we downloaded FileZilla already. I'm going to double click on it, and it should start to install. It's going to ask me if I want to allow, and here is the agreement license that I have to agree to. I have to, let's see here, make FileZilla even better. We can actually decline this because we do not want the optional offer to be installed. Choose installation options. Anyone who uses this computer, we're going to hit allow that. We have these settings we're going to allow for. Also make sure that you check the desktop icon if you want the icon on your desktop. Hit next. We're going to default to this location to installing the software. We're going to hit next and install. And this is going to install fairly quickly, and it is done, and we can go ahead and hit finish. And while we're waiting, FileZilla should open up, and here is FileZilla. Now we're actually going to create a connection to the Sinclair server. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go over here to this icon which says Open the Site Manager, or I can go to File Site Manager. So what you need to do is, first of all, is to create a new site. So you could click on Create New Site, and we're going to give it a name, CIS 1350 Homework is what I'm going to call this one. And now we're going to come over here to this side, and it says that the FTP protocol, you want to make sure that it is FTP protocol. Your host name is going to be, in this particular case, for this class, cisplace.sinclair.edu. The encryption, I use the use explicit FTP over TLS, if applicable. But you can use only use plain FTP. You can do that one, but I default to this use explicit FTP over TLS. The next one is logon type. I always have it ask for a password. And the reason I do that is because this is going to be your Sinclair network password. And if you choose account, it will have you add your password, and it will permanently keep that password. So whenever your password would change on your Sinclair network, this you would have to go in to change it also. Otherwise, it will never connect to the Sinclair server. So I always leave it at ask for password. The user is going to be your Sinclair email account. And then from here, all I have to do is hit connect, or I can say OK, then connect. And when I hit connect, it's going to ask me for my Sinclair password. And I'm going to take off this check mark where it says remember the password, because I do not want it to remember it. I want to put it in each and every time. I'm going to say OK to it. And now I am connected to the server. Now my access is different from your access because I have access to all files. So I'm going to scroll down, and I should see my name. Here it is. I'm going to click on it, and I am now connected to the server. I have already uploaded some files ahead of time. You will find out how to upload files in your other video that you will see on one of the other pages. And that's all you have to do. So at this point, we are done connecting FileZilla to the server, so the way we can eventually upload files to the web server. Thank you.